All, all right, guys. So I'm gonna quickly show you how this automation works for increasing your engagement on your iPhone. So this is perfect for anybody who's trying to, who's struggling to get any kind of responses from your leads, and you already have the problem of leads coming in solved, and but you need more granularity on the go. You want to be able to quickly respond whenever the lead comes in and fills out a form. So what you want to do, you want to jump in into this Pushcut automation. This is a tool that I'm using. And of course, guys, you get the full setup in my community, but you get to see how it works. It's available for my Threads Stack subscribers. Subscription is $14.99. But this is what it does, guys. It's free for you to set it up, but if you wanted to connect it to a system that makes it possible for you to manage everything quickly, then definitely, guys, you wanna subscribe into ThreadStack Digital Power Bundle and then learn how to pull this off. So now the question is, what is this? So I click on here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test notification for send message 8. So meaning I have this message over here. It has the following JSON structure, and it has a file, a Google Drive file, and it has another kind of a file in here. So for the purposes of this, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you the shortcut 7 that is going to be executed automatically. Right now, I'm kind of showing it to what it looks like inside of it, but basically this is what it looks like. It receives a text input from the pushcut. It saves, and it just saves it attachment into a folder. So basically, it grabs a file from Google Drive and saves it into your folder on iPhone. And then it goes ahead and saves it, sends it out to whoever is in your contact, the recently saved file. You could modify the contact, like where to save it, on which folder, and do this dynamically. So this way, you could have the full control from your system, from Freedom Fusion System CRM, or how you want to control this. Now, the cool part about it is when you execute this, it saves you an incredible amount of time and increases engagement. So what I mean by that is right now, what I'm just going to do right now, I'm kind of showing two things manually, but obviously it's all happening, going to be happening behind the scenes. So in simple words, like this push cut, you don't even have to enter inside of this tool. You don't have to enter into any kind of shortcut tools. Once it's set up, it's just the way it's going to look like. The lead is going to come in. You're going to get the information, like then you're gonna get a message and it's gonna look like this. So I'm gonna hit test, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like once it starts coming in. So right now you can't see it any because I'm on Zoom, but effectively it will open up a message and it will look like this. So let me kind of show it to you over here. I already have a file that shows precisely what it's gonna look like. It's gonna look like this. So guys, basically, so what I showed you over here is I have a couple of automations, guys, and what you're gonna get if you were to join our thread stack, you would get the actual shortcut itself that is pre-configured. There's a couple of them that we're working on. So the shortcut is going to be the combination of both pushcut uh, information. So you're going to get a blueprint for what to configure inside of pushcut and what to configure inside of the shortcut. You're going to get exportable shortcut, which is going to look like this, and effectively it's going to save a file. So if I was to show you like what it looks like, this is what it looks like over here. As you can see, it looks embedded. At first, when I was testing this, it was not giving me the results, and my nephew responded with a joke, like, "Man sends me a virus. Hello, what is that?" And then I fixed the automation and goes, and now it's embedded. And of course, you could hit play, and this is what it, like obviously it's embedded inside the phone. So that increases engagement exponentially. And of course, guys, what's happening behind the scenes is something interesting, very interesting behind the scenes. All of those automations, you don't really have to worry too much about them. Like there's a couple of them that I'm working on specifically to make it super easy for you to have control, remote control, meaning you don't need to do anything inside of shortcuts. You don't need to do anything inside of pushcut. You have everything is in one system in a lit connector. So basically the way it's gonna be for you guys, you could interface directly with your leads. For example, let's say you got a lead and all you gotta do is just get all the information. Look, as you can see, I remember I told you guys I created a bunch of videos and I told you how to accelerate onboarding process. So as you can see, this is where um, the onboarding process kicks in and is really good. And of course, person is asking for a user ID, which means he's looking and kind of digging further, which is good. This is what I would expect from side hustler. Now, um, of course, because we haven't went through onboarding process, he doesn't have the login and password, that kind of stuff. But this is the system over here where you have everything organized in one spot. So this is really cool because effectively what that means is you can engage with people automatically on the fly when they fill out your form. So let's say you have this side hustler over here who came in and you'd be like, oh, I want to figure out what's going on with those side hustlers. You could respond, you could pull them into an opportunity, schedule appointment, you could do different things. But the idea is when somebody contacts you, it's going to show up automatically inside of your Freedom Fusion system. It's going to show up automatically in opportunities section, and your automation, the way it's gonna look from your iPhone perspective, your automation is gonna be like what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a pipeline for you. For example, let's say you have a bunch of leads coming in. So what we do, we create a pipeline for each one of those processes, and as soon as the lead comes in, so let's say the lead is a new lead came in. Now, right now there's zero leads, but they're all kind of going through the process. This side hustler had a problem over here. He couldn't log in. So, of course, for that purpose, there could be like another phase for back and forth. But the idea here is very simple, guys. You're gonna have those pipelines, and part of that pipeline, there's gonna be engagement sent. There's gonna be like a little pipeline that says engagement sent instead of project proposal sent is going to be engagement sent in or like iMessage sent, something like this. So this way, um, when they receive that, your iMessage, they're gonna be they're gonna be more likely to respond back versus you receiving the SMS because it doesn't. With SMS, it's really hard for you to understand how to do all of this, guys, because SMS goes into junk mail and whatever. With it just goes to junk. It looks spammy. Um, iMessage hits them hard, and you could switch them over then into other parts like SMS. You could switch them over to different things. The hardest part for you guys to kind of unlock and figure it out is how all of those pieces are interconnected together, like how to stitch together Freedom Fusion system together with the your iPhone. Now, keep something in mind: those iPhone kind of things, um, they're really unique. Like the iPhone thing, shortcut is going to be executing on your phone, and you're going to be technically getting like your request, because you don't have that many requests anyway. What you want to do, you want to supercharge yourself in a way where you could just have do everything from iPhone, including turning on meetings, scheduling meetings with Zoom, doing combination of different things without really kind of being stuck. And to do that, you'd need a way to send a message, get a notification on your phone that, by the way, you got a new lead. And as soon as that notification comes in, your file, your proposal file, is going to be already cooked in directly inside of a message inside of your phone. So, in simple words, it's going to be you're going to get that the automation is going to run automatically. You're going to get a pop up that it's running, and you could execute that pop up with just push of a button, and information will be sent, and the person is going to be hit with that additional message, and afterwards they're going to be sent to either your book appointment system or your chatbot or Zoom meeting, whatever the case may be. And the cool part about it, you get to see the full kind of how this whole process works, guys. And you get to see directly inside of the opportunities. You get to see directly from communicating with the side hustlers, with the leads. You get to see it all in one spot. So I log in and set password. Now what to do? Okay, so he logged in and set the password. That's good. I'm gonna so basically what I'm gonna do, and this is the kind of deal you would have to deal with. Like, what does the person have to do when you have a side hustler, when you go through the proposal? Here's an example. Opportunities. Well, the person proposal sent. What I need to do is schedule an interview. That's the second phase with him. So what I'll do is I'll schedule an interview with him. So how do I do this? I'm gonna go ahead in here, and I'm gonna this is a side hustler that has okay kind of capabilities, okay capabilities. I'm gonna go ahead, meaning he's not super responsible, but he's okay. That's basically the tag I gave him. Now, appointments, what I could do is I don't see any appointments for him. I do see that he's interested in somewhat making things work and seeking to help us out. So what I'm going to do is this is a form that is available, and the question is, what can I do further with him? Can I schedule an appointment? So over here, if you click appointments, nothing. But what I could do, I could hit plus, and what I could do is I could include over here intro like this, and I could say, let's reserve the spot for Friday. Let's reserve the spot for um, like 5:30 to 6 p.m. Uh, book interview with side hustler. Okay, for building TikTok shop course. Be sure to answer all the questions in the proposal prior to the interview. All the quiz questions. And so what I'll do is I'll probably put that up. You know what? I'll make it Saturday. It's better to do it on Saturday. So today's I'm not this calendar is not available on Saturday. I could yeah, I could modify it, but I'll just stick for 5:30 and 6. Typically I don't do things on Saturday, but I figured I could do it. Um, it's just my calendar is configured for those dates only. So let's see. So let's see. Friday, Saturday. Let's do Saturday. We'll do Saturday, and let's do 10 10:32 a.m. 10:32 a.m. Okay. See, and I think we're gonna do Saturday. Let's do Yeah, Saturday, and do, and let's increase it to, okay, that's good. 10:32, 10, so I set it up, and what I'll do is I'll send out like this, save, boom. So interview appointment scheduled. Now I'm just going to respond back and I'm going to say appointment. Um, so now what this, so right now, the pipeline on a pipeline, if you look at this pipeline, guys, it hasn't moved. Specifically, if I was to go into pipeline, I don't see that it's moved just yet. So opportunities, we go to opportunities and I see this, the unique. So I'm going to kind of move them myself to the interview scheduled over Zoom. And of course, over here, I could take a look at Hunter, see what is going on with Hunter, um, because I do see that there's a, okay, let's see, all. So Thursday, September 7th, 7 p.m. to 7:30. So obviously, guys, Thursday, it's already Friday. So I definitely missed that. Um, let's go ahead and remodify this. So um, appointment, I didn't see any confirmation from the person. So what I'll do is I'm gonna reschedule that at we're gonna do this Thursday. Let's do well, actually let's do Friday, and let's do 5 p.m. Let's do 6 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. Okay, on Friday. So this is intro call. Now I'm gonna schedule, boom. As soon as I schedule, it's gonna be scheduled right away. This was missed, but guess what? It's okay. Now there's gonna be this appointment. I scheduled him. All of this is happening on the background. Slack. I'll go to Slack. This is what looks like it. Looks like this, guys, on Slack. Meeting scheduled. Everything is coming in. So I do have, hey, Hunter is scheduled and another person is scheduled. So both of them are scheduled. And if I was to look on my Zoom calendar, I could see that, of course, there's some stuff scheduled as well. So that's the idea, guys. If you want to learn how to set this up, this automation that I described, initially it won't make any sense for you guys with this automation, because at the end of the day, like, you don't have a lot of leads, you don't have much stuff going on, but key is to set up all of those little systems. So this way you could do something like, let's say you wanted to increase, let's say you wanted to go beyond just a basic iPhone iMessage automation. So the next thing is just going to be, let's say, TikTok. So you wanted to open specific, you could create something, or you may like, or you can go to inbox, um, or you could do certain automations that are available on TikTok or Notion, that just will accelerate your chances of kind of finding the right thing. So, for example, you could search in Notion for, let's say, search query, and then you could put select variable. So let's say let's say you send something from Freedom Fusion System CRM into your iPhone, and you received, let's say, a lead that came in, and the lead wants to have to learn more about AI content driven automations, or they want to have a specific, um, they want to buy certain coaching program for you. So what you want to do, you could ask specific details from the lead, um, the run bunch of AI kind of a qualification checks directly in Zapier, after it gets delivered through Zapier, and then send it over to your um, Pushcut. And Pushcut is gonna have that clear kind of query relevant for what the person is looking for. And then you could search for, I don't know, let's just say the variable was, let's say there was another variable like intent. You could put intent. And for now, I'm just going to put attachment. But let's just say it was intent. And then it would look like this. So if I was to send message 8 and trigger this, it would variable would be passed from Pushcut. So this is what it would look like, Pushcut, and it would be sent directly into this shortcut. And let's say if I edit intent over here, intent like this, intent, intent, because I want to see what the person wants. And then I'm just going to put, for now, I'm going to put, I'm obviously this is going to be coming from Zapier, guys. I'm looking for brand management solutions for my pet company. So let's say I want to pass that intent. And of course, if you look at this, you're probably going to say, well, what is that? Do I need to put a space here? Make sure that you have a space, guys, like this, big concrete. And then obviously right now I'm just doing it as a test, but this message is going to be baked in directly inside of automation. So you don't really have to worry about it. But over here, I'm putting intent and save, right? So now if I wanted to go further and wanted to extract that intent, I would go here and I would go to, let's say, send 8, and I would get that value. So what I would do is I would get value like this, would type that in, value, dictionary value, and then I would scroll all the way, I would move that to the top, and I would put intent like this, and I would hit send, and over here I would put in intent like this. So right now I would do get for while name, get value for intent, and then over here I would just probably, you know what, let me just delete that intent. We're gonna keep it dictionary. So we're gonna dictionary value, clear variable like this, dictionary like this. So we're getting get value for intent. So we're basically getting this field over here. So if I was to go to yo, if I was go to 8, we're getting this field, this value over here. I'm looking for brand management solutions for my pet company. So obviously, guys, if you wanted to do that, now you need to search for intent. And over here, you clear the variable, search, and intent. Select variable, and this is like this. Search dictionary value, and then you could do intent like this. So you may need to put a text before that to convert it to text. So otherwise it may give an error. But the idea here is you run this, and once it runs, guys, it will open up Notion like this, and I will search inside of a Notion. Well, I'm looking for whatever that query was for management services, right? And then of course it will pick the appropriate one, and you could have that available for your um, side hustlers to execute. So that, and of course they could have that drop directly into Slack. So when you have everything ready and go for the interview, it's going to be available for that person. And at the same time, you could have a message sent, iMessage sent, just like I showed it to you in this iMessage over here, where everything is just being sent to with a file where a file gets downloaded. What kind of file? The file that's going to be passed on to you. And that file is going to be pre-created file. Now, if you wanted to create a file on the fly that has all the details about the customer, that scans customer's website based on whatever the customer puts inside of the form, and include that as a video with a response, then trust me, you will have even greater increase in engagement. But for now, just do basic things, include a video that's gonna be directly inside of your iPhone. So you're gonna get the Pushcut send the video into your iPhone. Your iPhone is gonna, um, well, like how should I say it? You're gonna have your video in a Google Drive. So here's a Google Drive. You're gonna have it in Google Drive. So, and by the way, I have some automations for you as well for my Thread Stack subscribers. When you upload things to Google Drive, it automatically drops it on YouTube and drops a message in Slack as well to let everybody know that that it's available, which is also like a quick way to save a lot of on time. Here's an example of those videos being dropped on Slack. And anytime a video gets recorded, it also gets the summary gets created automatically. And as you can see, here's the summary. Over here, it says Rome demonstrated a unique automation technique for luxury moms over 40 to increase engagement through iMessage rather than SMS, using a combination of tools, including Pushcart, Zapier, and Freedom Fusion System CRM. He showed how to set up automated responses from contact form using iPhone shortcuts and webhooks. So you could see that once you join, if you decided to join our Feudal Incubator, you would get access directly into this channel. For Infusion Digital, you would see exactly what is happening on my YouTube. You would see exactly what is happening through those workshops. And the cool part about it, you could build your brand a lot faster this way. So this is an example of what I just showed. Now, to increase the engagement further, ideally you want to, when the lead comes in, you want to do something more than just sending some static files. Now, in my particular case, because I already pre-created a year and a half worth of content, I have so many different files that it just makes total sense for me to have even basic files that are already pre-cooked directly inside of the folder, have them kind of become available. So I have a bunch of Google Drive files, and I make them available directly on my iPhone. So this way you don't have to wait when you send a message to anybody, like your person that you're trying to connect with. You don't have to wait. So there's a couple of things, guys, and to make sure it doesn't take forever to load, because if the file is too big, it's not going to work with just Google Drive, guys. This is why you have to save it directly to your iPhone. But once you hit them hard with the first message, they get to see that message. Then you could send them directly to your chatbot through in Freedom Fusion System CRM. They could communicate back and forth, and yeah. And then if you wanted to have a backup for SMS to remind them about workshop, you could have similar kind of reminders set up for using Pushcut. Keeps in mind you're not paying for SMS fees, and it's a lot more friendlier to let them know that, hey, this is what's going on. You still keep everything in one system. It just makes it super easy, and you still can respond back as well to people directly into with your iMessage. So, but the initial iMessage is baked in. It kind of sends information quickly, and you're good to go. So it does require a little bit of setup, guys. If you're interested in having the full setup, where you have Zapier, Pushcart, uh, Freedom Fusion System, CRM, and all of those different bells and whistles, it does take a little bit of setup, like with Slack and Zoom, and so this way you have everything set up, and you could interface quickly. It does require a little bit of setup, especially if you want to do Notion and that kind of stuff. Um, but once you have it, it's smooth sailing afterwards. So the tech stack you really want to be using is Notion, Zapier, Freedom Fusion System, CRM, Pushcut, and of course for Thread stack you want to be using Thread Samurai, Thread Slacker, Threads Booster, Thread Stories, Threads Themes, Threads Bots, and of course you guys get the encouragement and support in our FUD app. So the FUD app is right here. This FUD is, you go here, you get encouragement and support. So that's basically what it is. And yeah, and I mean, that's how it works, guys. It's nothing hard. In thread stock, you go here, you be like, okay, um, you go and you just go through the guide, see all the steps, you learn through it quickly. You could ask questions, get encouragement and support, that kind of stuff, and jump into different workshops. So this way you could quickly operationalize this, because technically that's what you need. You don't really need anything complicated. You need to be quickly set up for all of those different things that you're doing. But to have it quickly set up, you need this pipeline of different things. Like you need to be doing things on a go. You need to be, um, you need to have different ways to kind of see what's going on. So for example, let's say I scheduled a workshop right here. So let's say you do this. You go here and you schedule a workshop. You host live workshop and the URL shows up. And you wanted to let everybody know that, by the way, I have my new workshop that is starting. How do you do this? How do you do it in a way that you catch that and let everybody know to join? And how do you do this in a reminder way, where you combine FUD together with, which is mobile friendly app, where you have all those side hustlers, many different coaches, and all sorts of opportunities. There's the latest one over here, as you can see. Uh, want to increase engagement exponentially, etc., etc., etc. Try this, right? As you can see, it's already here on FUD, and there's a lot of other people and whatnot, other FUD experts. And the idea here, guys, just ask yourself a question. What is your biggest pain point? Is your biggest pain point finding leads? Then don't worry, guys, we'll cover that in thread stock as well. If the biggest pain point is like operationalizing your side hustlers, don't worry, we cover that as well. So the most important part is to have those reminders set up for the meeting, when the meeting is going to take place, notifications and all that other stuff, so this way you don't miss it. It's really easy as an entrepreneur, solopreneur, to kind of miss it, and not just because you make silly mistake, you didn't configure something and that kind of stuff. So guys, if you're interested in having the complete setup to see how this works, the whole thing, meaning with Pushcut, Zapier, Freight Infusion System CRM, into pipelines with prescriptive recommendation for what to do, when to do it, that kind of stuff, then yeah, guys, then definitely subscribe into ThreadStack, because this way you're gonna be able to build your brand exponentially faster. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going. I'll see you next time, and take care.